I was the last daimyo set free in the mire.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting? Apollyon thought we would fight each other to claim the Emperor's power. She was right. Every daimyo who had passed her test was a war criminal. We would tear our people apart. Or I could finish it. Before it had a chance to start.
Oh boy, those were some tough words. Hello and welcome back to another For Honor mission. We are doing the second mission of the Samurai campaign, and this time we're playing as the Kensei, which happens to be one of my favorite characters, so I'm in for a bit of a treat. So, let's dive right into the action, but before we get into the real fighting, I messed up. Mirkus Reuven had a question for today, and I apologize for butchering your name if I did in fact say it wrong after 4 or 5 attempts. He wants to know how I feel about high skill cap games and if I prefer games with a higher skill cap versus games with a lower skill cap. And I do in fact enjoy a game with a nice amount of challenge associated with it. It brings extra gratification to it when there's a difficulty associated with it, because the idea is that you can derive more satisfaction from a game that can whoop your ass just as easily as you can whoop its ass from time to time, right? It makes you it makes you feel good when you successfully parry things and when you successfully counter guard break, because it's not the easiest thing to do, and that's what makes For Honor a fun game, especially in the multiplayer, is that you do feel like you're learning the game, and you do feel like you're constantly progressing, and you feel like there's something to be mastered. Chopped his head off. And that I believe is what makes a good game. And here we go. We got our first combatant. It is a fellow Kensei. She already has revenge. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm just gonna kind of back away, let that wear off before I start fighting. She is dodging all of my attacks. She's feinting a whole bunch, which is getting me messed up here. And we're seeing the skill cap thing come into play. We're seeing the difficulty. We're seeing the challenge come out. This is one of the first enemies to go through feinting and using it to actually confuse me and parrying so many of my attacks as if they were nothing. And there we go. And then it's gonna throw out a taunt just to add insult to injury.
She was right.
But I think you get the point, though, right? The point is that this feels good. But besides, like, General Tozen is sort of this weird exception to the rule, like Dark Souls, where it's so difficult that it's not fun to the general public, where it's this niche thing where if you're a glutton for punishment, you say, yeah, I love Dark Souls. But if you just want a difficult game that doesn't feel like it's deliberately punching you in the dick, then you play a game like For Honor or Counter-Strike or Titanfall, things of that nature. They're challenging and they have a high skill cap, but they're not specifically designed to break your balls or make you feel like you want to fall into a river filled with mud and doo-doo, right? And that's the difference. Ooh, I messed up. Remove the head. So yeah, now let me get serious for a second. Show you guys my true skills with For Honor. No. No. Here we go. that shit out of here. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. But I do.
You hide behind your faith.
There we go. Okay, we got the first one down, and that felt really good. That was really satisfying. I haven't played the multiplayer component for this game in over a month, and going through a fight where the enemy is actually feinting and parrying attacks and whatnot, it felt really good, and that's what makes games like For Honor, fighting games with skill cap, so gratifying, is when you feel your heart start to pound a little bit. But there's a gray area where there is too much difficulty being added, where it's less fun and it's more frustration. And there was an MMORPG that came out, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point. It's called WildStar, and the original premise for the game was that we are a hardcore raiding-focused MMORPG with super epic 24-man raiding content, and even our dungeons that are for just 5 people, they're gonna kick your fucking teeth in. And they had so many great ad campaigns focused around that difficulty and just really punishing you and making you work for every piece of gear that you get and feeling like you're really being challenged. And that was really cool. But the game comes out and that shit is so difficult that basically nobody can play it. and that's the gray area where you run into, is if you make your skill cap so high and you make the difficulty so punishing that nobody can play it, then nobody's gonna play it. And WildStar, while it was one of my favorite MMOs of all time to this day, but it didn't survive because it was so difficult, and for a number of other reasons. But one of the biggest reasons was because it had a ridiculous level of difficulty. Like you would just start the game. You've been playing the game for like 3 hours. You get level 20. The first dungeon, it is basically General Tozin, to give you some context, and that's ridiculous. And you know what? We've got some arrows, so why don't we use them? Yeah, there you go. Just stand right in them. Take all that damage. Ooh, he's getting aggressive. Let's try and knock him down. There we go, big boy. There we go. And let's deal with this guy. Ooh. This is this is gonna fucking kill me. Shit. No.
The throne is mine, are you?
Oh, he's doing the execute. Oh, he gonna sit on me. It's over.
She was right. Every
Oh,
diamond
no.
who had passed her test was a war criminal. We would tear
Here we go
our people
again.
apart.
Bleed? What the oh my goodness. No, you've got to be kidding. What? Oh my goodness.
I will be emperor.
No.
No other.
No, you fucking don't. Get out of here.
What the samurai could not admit to themselves was that they were already at war with each other. All I did was show them that fact. We left 4 daimyo in the swamp. Had they been other than those 4, they would have joined forces and solved their problems. But I had chosen well. Apollyon is a demon name. I chose it when I took command of the Blackstones. It means destroyer. Holden's demon name is Asmodai. Recently, he has preferred his given name. Strange.
I'm on a mission now. So I guess to close it out, though, the whole point is of playing a game, playing a proper video game, and not something like Bejeweled or whatever, is to feel like you've achieved something when you play it, and when you beat certain aspects of it. And you don't get that feeling of achievement if it's too easy. Or at least I certainly don't. My goodness, those flaming arrows are doing a ridiculous amount of damage, and I need every little bit of health that I can to fight the big guy on this part of the mission. And sometimes, though, I do worry that developers try to make games a little too easy. Where did I find those arrows before? Because those helped significantly. So sometimes I feel like games nowadays do try to go down an easier route, as opposed to the harder, trying to make something that is deliberately challenging. Like Final Fantasy XIV, for example, it has a lot of really casual elements to it, and a lot of casual gameplay. But it does have hardcore aspects of it as well. And the worry that I always have is, and the question, are the aspects of it that, well, those arrows were absolute failures. Are the aspects of it that are casual too casual? That's always the worry. All right. I can't let him hit me even one time. Not even once. Where you going, big boy? You can't run from me. Fight me. It's over. It's over, Kaizen. I have the high ground. It looks like he saw Star Wars Episode 3. He's not trying to come up here. What type of next level shit is this? I feel like they've programmed him so that if he gets to too low of a point of HP, he runs back to his underlings.
Your subjects starved while you feasted, Kizan.
I don't want to do this. Stop it. This is very dangerous, guys. One wrong move, I fucked up a parry there. One wrong move, and this guy is going to clobber my fucking head. Ooh, he tried to guard break me. Okay. You've backed yourself into a corner, big boy. Got him. Okay. We're doing well, but this is, ooh, she's coming in hot. But this is exactly the point, though. I'm just gonna run around her. Dodge. Didn't work. Not the way I planned it, anyway. Get your ass out of here. That's what I'm talking about. But this is exactly the point, that when you're playing a game and you feel like you could lose, but you also feel like you could win, that is what makes a good game. And For Honor, it definitely strikes that balance. It starts off a little bit on the slow side with the difficulty of the campaign, even on the, no you don't, even on the highest difficulties. On realistic, the first couple of missions, especially as the warden, you do it with your eyes closed. But now I'm actually playing using the skills that I use in the multiplayer. I'm feinting, I'm counter guard breaking when I can, and it's a lot of fun. So let's just go deal with this last guy. But yeah, I suppose my question for you guys, though, is do you feel like games nowadays do tend to lean more towards the easier route? And maybe that's why things like Quake Champions and Lawbreakers and even Titanfall to a degree are starting to come out and starting to feel like refreshing. Is that because so many things are tailored towards the lowest common denominator, no offense to anyone. that when a game comes out that says, okay, if you want to be good at our game, you got to put in some hours, that feels good. Lawbreakers seems like it's that type of game where the longer you play it, the better you get, and you feel a tangible difference in your level of skill. Ooh, this is bad, actually. What is going on here? This is a lot. Let's give her a little bit of that. Shh. Oh, I'm gonna die, aren't I? So yeah, is that why certain games like Lawbreakers and Titanfall feel refreshing to their niche audiences, because they are the truly challenging versions of video games? Like Titanfall, for what it's worth, it is Call of Duty with giant robots, but it is also a more mechanically demanding version of Call of Duty. Even the newer ones with that have the jump jets and all that stuff, it still pales in comparison to the level of complexity that can exist in Titanfall. Get that shit out of here. Ain't nobody got time for this. I feel like can I walk around these guys? Because I know there's no checkpoint. Wait a minute. There's no checkpoint, and this guy is standing on a bridge. We gotta knock him off.
I will stop you.
We gotta knock him into the water. Parry. Guard break. No. Shit. Wait. Shit, he's stuck.
You're too ambitious. Back down.
He's stuck. Alright, alright. Shit. Shit.
You're only proving what we always believed about you, are you?
Get that shit out of here. Oh, I don't think can I not knock him off? Yes, I can. And there you go. That wouldn't have been satisfying if I wasn't afraid of losing. So, yes, I do like games with a high skill cap. I appreciate them. And all games should strive to have a certain level of difficulty to make you feel accomplished when you win.
Our Emperor is dead! The Blackstone Legion has done this! Apollyon wants us to go to war with ourselves! I refuse! We are being forced into a new age.
The word is excuse me.
Vikings.
Apollyon would regret leaving me alive.
The plot thickens. So, we did it. We beat the second mission of the Samurai campaign. We've got 4 more to go. And boy, oh boy, I'm having a great time. So we're going to continue next week on Tuesday and Thursday, going back to that regular schedule. Thank you all for sticking with and bearing with the interruption in service, or whatever you want to call it. We're back to normal now. So on that note, the name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.